Hello students. Yesterday we have discussed about meter base and some numericals on that. So I think up to now that topic is clear. So let's just discuss today the next topic of the chapter, same chapter, current electricity. As here still we have to just discuss one or two topics more. So in this topic today we will discuss about the cell first, and after that what is EMF of cell, how can we combine the cells to make a battery, and how can we mix them. So all these topics, and later the application of cell in the potentiometer, that we will discuss here also. So that is very important topic here that we are going to discuss. So first, in the concept of cell, you know that you can make any cell by some electrodes and electrolytes. So these are the basic part of the basic things that we are needed to structure or to make any kind of cell here. So simply cell, you know that of two types, primary and secondary cell. So here we just don't want to study about how to make the cell and what kind of cells we have. So that you have already studied, I think, in the case of chemistry or in your lower classes. So basically I just want to tell you, in the case of cells, we just take two electrodes, and that two electrodes serves as cations and cathode and anode, but and cations and anions are stimulated on them. Means if you will see that two cathode, then positive and negative two polarity charges are accumulated on that. So obviously you know that whenever two plates are such that where positive negative charges are accumulated, then there is a potential difference between them. So for due to that potential difference, what kind of effects we are getting, that we are going to study here. As in this chapter always we are trying to study the about the motion of charges, or about the current and its effect, and what kind of things can block it, what kind of things can support it. So that things we are just I think discussing here. So that is now clear. In the case of cell, again we will do the same thing here. So in the formation of cell, first here two three things are very important that you have to first understand. First is EMF. Its full name is electromotive force. So as you know that to flow the current in any device or in any cell or in anywhere, we need a source, or we need a source of energy, you can say that. Like in the case of conductor, in concept of drift velocity, we have already discussed to make the already whenever no external field is present, that time in conductors all electrons are moving in random direction, they are moving zigzag in way. That's why overall current due to them, that is zero. And when we start to put them between any two electrode, or you can say that if external field is present or source of energy is present, then that time they are feeling some attractive or repulsive force, and due to that they start to move in a particular direction. So it means that to make the flow of current, or to make the flow of charge, we first need a external source, external agency here. So electromotive force, in a rough way if you want to understand, so it is that force that we are providing to give a direction of the current. So electromotive force, its name is simple, clear. This the force that is needed to move any electron or any charge carrier. But in actual way, this is not a force, this is a potential difference. So you know that any force is present whenever we are applying some potential difference or opposite polarity to two plates, and that's why particles are feeling attraction or repulsion towards it, and they start to move in that particular direction. So it means that the basic cause behind that force is the polarity, the potential that is generated between that two plates. So this is exactly, in one word if you want to understand, this is a potential difference, and this is also a special case of potential difference that is connected to any source here. Normally potential difference we have already defined that the work done in moving any charge from one point to another point in any other charge field. So it means in that case, normally to point you can take, and work done whenever we are moving that from that point to that point. Suppose here 2 points we have, and here any charge, and its field is up to this point. So we are moving is this potential to this, means if A point is this, B point is this, we are moving any charge from A to B, then that time the work done is doing by the another charge Q0 in the field of Q, that is known as its potential. Obviously known as its potential. So next actually thing is that here potential is simple that thing, but EMF is always generated whenever we are just talking about some source here. So normally when we are making any external source, we are making any battery. External source means like battery, cells, generator, dynamo, anything you can make. So while making that, we are making two electrodes of different kind of materials, and that can store, some of them can store negative ions, some of them can store positive ions. So according to the accumulation of positive and negative ions, two electrodes we are getting, and due to that two electrodes the potential difference is creating. So that potential difference is known as its EMF. So EMF is that potential difference when no current is drawn by the external source here. Like here we have to understand the EMF of cell. In general EMF I am just telling you, this is the maximum possible potential for any battery or any source, that is known as its EMF. Clear? So maximum possible potential is when, suppose in the case of cell, if you have to understand it, then suppose this is our solution. In these two electrodes we have just put here, and on these two electrodes positive negative ions are accumulated here now. Clear? Like in primary cell you have already studied about Leclanche cell or Daniell cell. So like in the case of Leclanche cell, we are making it by using ammonium chloride and zinc chloride mixture in water solution as a solvent. We are just we are taking them as a solute, and we are just dissolving that in water, and due to dissolution ammonium and chloride ion we are getting that are accumulated at two different plates that we are getting. One is of carbon and other is of different material. So in that case, if they are accumulated on these two, then due to that you are seeing here positive negative polarity are accumulated, they are up to some distance, then definitely there will be some potential that will be generated here. So that potential difference, when we make this cell at that time, it is known as its EMF. Means simple thing is that open circuit, about that we are talking here. Now we haven't closed it by some other circuit, other resistors, we are not taking any current through it, only we have just constructed it. That time the potential is created here between these two plates, that potential difference is known as its EMF. So if you have to define in one word, the maximum potential difference when no current is drawn from the cell, that is known as its EMF. Clear? I think there is. Next concept, first of all the difference between potential difference and EMF, that is also clear. Potential difference is related to any 2 point in the space in any other charge field. Whenever we are moving any particle, then the work done per unit charge is done just given by the potential difference there. Means if we are moving any charge Q from A to B, then that time the work done by it, that is its potential difference. But EMF is, you are seeing that EMF is always related to some kind of source. So it is some kind of source. Secondary thing, it is a special case of the potential difference when no current is drawn from any cell. That time is I should be 0. That time we are not taking any kind of current, we are not connecting this circuit as a close, current is not flowing through it. That time the potential that is created between these two electrodes, its difference is known as EMF. So this is the maximum possible potential for any cell. So simple, in any other way you can understand it. Later I will tell you how it is maximum. So I think the difference between potential difference and EMF, that is now clear. Next case here that we have to discuss, that is internal resistance. So here first of all some small topics we have. Let's understand first that. So as in the concept of resistance, firstly we have understood already, if we will see any conductor, then in conductor there are a large number of atoms and molecules. In that atom and molecule, large number of electrons we have, and they are moving in zigzag way, and due to their zigzag motion, obviously they are starting to block their any another electron's path, and due to that current started to cease, current started to decrease, means some kind of resistance, some kind of opposition we are feeling there. So that opposition is known as its resistance. So in the same way as this cell we are making by the electrodes, and we are making by obviously electrode and electrolyte, and solutions we are using. So it means that that electrolyte or electrode that will be obviously made up of, but if I am talking about the internal resistance of cell, then here we are talking about the electrolyte exactly. So that electrolyte that we are using, obviously that is made up of large number of molecules or atoms or ions. So whenever that ions are generating, and due to this potential difference, suppose some ion that is of negative charge that start to move from this plate to this plate, means charges started to move, it means that current is constituted. When current started to constitute, obviously in this in the path of this, number of charge other atoms, molecules or ions are present, and they will start to collide with it. Secondary thing, when this will start to face some kind of force towards it, then obviously due to its inertia property, it will try to oppose it any kind, or it will try to oppose the external force that is attracting it. It means it will try to oppose its state of rest that time. Then due to that, obviously some opposition you are feeling here in the in the opposition of external field. So it means you are again feeling there is some kind of resistance that is present in the cell due to the these atoms, molecules or ions. So this resistance that is provided by the internal concentration or internal atoms that are present in cell, that is known as its internal resistance. Means already in outer circuit we can join any resistor there, but that is called external resistor. Thus in spite of that, even we can understand the concept of internal. Simple thing, whenever we are making any source or current started to flow toward in that circuit, then other ions will oppose it. Ions will due to its inertia property, it will oppose it, and that opposition provide a resistance to this cell here, and that resistance is known as internal resistance. So we are denoting by small r here, and standard resistor or external resistor we are denoting it by capital R. Clear? You can denote by anyone if you want, but as to make you understand in more clear way, I have just taken it small r and capital R. Okay. Next concept that we have here. First, before that, just discussing that concept, let's understand on which thing EMF and internal resistance are dependent on. So internal resistance is depending on, first you are, as we are talking about the here electrolyte. So the electrolyte that we are using, like we are using copper sulfate, we are using ammonium chloride, zinc chloride, whatever you are using, obviously they are made up of different kind of ions, and different number of ions are there present. So it means that it is depending on electrolyte. Second thing, it is also depending on concentration of electrolyte in the solution, in the solvent that we are taking. So it means that whatever concentration you are using, according to that, here the EMF and internal resistance that will change both here. Because EMF 5, it will change, obviously greater number of electrolyte you are taking, or so simple thing, greater concentration you are taking, then greater number of ions will be accumulated at this, then EMF will be greater that time. So and also if greater number of ions are here, greater current will flow through it, and according to that greater opposition will be there, then resistance will increase there. So internal resistance is also dependent on that factor. Third factor that it is affecting, that is temperature. So whenever temperature is changing, you know already we have discussed it in the case of conductor already. So that is the same case here. If temperature is changing, then ions will start to get the some atoms will start to get some kind of kinetic energy, and due to that kinetic energy, obviously they will start to collide more rapidly. Then internal resistance will change, and according to that potential will also change there. Means more covalent bond will break down, more number of ions will be generated here. So that is the way in which it is affected by the different conditions. Next condition that affecting it, that is area, not EMF I am talking here. Internal resistance is dependent on area of the cell. Means if you will take greater area of cell, obviously ions or atoms or molecules will have the greater space to move, then obviously they will not collide with each other more rapidly, and internal resistance will be less there. So it is also depending on area. It is depending on the distance between these two plates. Greater will be the distance, greater it has to move, greater it will feel opposition. So that time internal resistance is depending on that factor also. So these are the basic factors that are affecting any internal resistance of the cell or EMF of the cell. Now next thing that we have to discuss here, that is terminal potential. So what is terminal potential? So first suppose whenever we have not connected this cell to any external circuit, then that time it is just like this, then the no current is flowing through it, then the potential of the cell, that is equal to its EMF. And suppose EMF we have denoted by epsilon. Now we are connecting this cell, suppose by some external agency, and it has some resistance R we have. So obviously current will start to flow from negative to positive. So I current is flowing through it. Epsilon is its, you know that already, is its EMF of the cell. Now when we have connected or we have completed this whole of the circuit, then due to the connection of circuit or due to closed circuit, current will start to flow through in this. So current will means the charges will start to flow from negative to positive, and in this way they will start to flow in outer circuit. So due to the flow of current I, obviously this electrolyte atoms or a molecule that will oppose its motion. Still I am just saying it has already internal resistance. So due to its internal resistance it will oppose the motion, and due to opposition some of the voltage drop that will be dropped here to overcome that opposition. So the voltage drop here due to this presence of resistance R of the cell, that will be obviously equal to IR. With the help of Ohm's law you can say it. So IR potential is dropped here in the opposition of the cell. So it means that the potential that is applicable, that is effective for the flow of this current I in outer circuit is only this epsilon minus IR. So it means that this was EMF was the greatest potential we have, and that time when current started to flow, then due to its internal resistance this voltage will be dropped from here, and the voltage that is remaining here in outer circuit, that is equal to this. So this is the potential that is remained after voltage drop in the cell, that is known as its terminal potential. So here by the concept it is very easy to understand. Terminal potential is always less than the EMF. Only terminal potential is equal to EMF when this I becomes 0, and this I will become 0 whenever we are not connecting it through any outer circuit. So simple EMF is called the potential of open cell, and terminal potential is called potential of closed cell. Clear? So whenever we close it, then that time this potential drop occur. When we not close it, then that time this is not occurred, then that's why this potential is equal to EMF here. So this is the basic relationship between terminal potential, EMF and internal resistance here. Next thing, if V potential is applicable here for the flow of current I, R resistor we have used externally, then what will be the value of current? So I can be written as V by R from here. So we can again change this equation in the terms of external resistance also. So from here B will be equal to epsilon minus V by R into small r. So let's take V at this side. So this is V by R into R, this is epsilon, or from here V can be calculated at epsilon upon 1 plus small r by capital R. So in this way you can also calculate terminal potential in the terms of these resistances, internal and external. You can also calculate this internal resistance of the cell here by this expression. So if you will calculate it, then this is obtained to be small r is equal to, you can see it by yourself, this is this is epsilon minus 1 into r. So this is a relationship to calculate the internal resistance of any cell, that we can understand it. Next concept, after discussing that we have seen, we have to see, that is, first of all let's see some graph for the factors that we have just seen now. So first graph here, that is between EMF and external resistance. So as you know that EMF is that potential when no circuit is connected, no closed circuit we have. So it means that it is independent of any kind of external resistance. So for that case, if you will make a graph between them, so this graph is constant for this. Means if epsilon EMF is for any of the cell, then obviously that EMF will be constant, it will be independent of the resistance that we are connecting in outer circuit. Second thing, what will be the graph between V and R? Terminal potential and resistance, external resistance. So just now I have just written some of the expression, and from here this is 1 upon this is small r by capital R. Clear? Just now I have just told you this relation. So in this way you can see that whenever r is increasing, then due to increase in r, this whole term r by r, small r by r, that will be obviously that will decrease, and due to decrease in this factor, denominator will decrease and overall value will increase. So you can see that it means with the increase in r, this V is increasing here. So in this way, this is just like the graph that you can understand. This is our V, this is R. Suppose this is the maximum possible potential, that is equal to EMF, then its graph is just like this. Means it started to increase with resistance, and in this way it becomes constant when at a greater resistance, when current becomes 0 in the circuit. Clear? So that time it is equal to EMF of the circuit. So in this way its graph you can understand from here. Next graph that you can see, that is between V and I. So third graph that we have between V and I. So to understand the graph between V and I, means terminal potential and current that is flowing in the circuit. So for that case, as terminal potential is given by this formula, so let's use that formula first. So to just make the graph of this, let's V at this, let's I at this. So when V is equal, suppose when I is equal to 0, so if I is equal to 0, then V becomes equal to epsilon. So at this point we can write here, this is epsilon at I equal to 0. And suppose if V is equal to 0, then for that case I will equal to some epsilon by R. So that time we can just make it some epsilon by R. So you can just make these 2 points. So this kind of graph we are getting for V and I. Means simple thing is that if I will increase, then with increase in current, this terminal potential will start to decrease, because this current drop will also increase with the increase in current, and due to decrease increase in voltage drop, obviously this difference will start to decrease and terminal potential will decrease, and ultimately when this voltage drop will become equal to epsilon, then that time obviously here you can see that I is equal to epsilon by R. It means that if epsilon becomes equal to IR, then that time obviously this potential will equal to 0. So that time it will start to 0 here. So this is the basic graph between the factors that we have just studied now. So up to now I think student about the EMF, terminal potential and internal resistance, that you are clear about that. So let's just discuss here now combination of cells, how can we combine the cells that we have, suppose number of cells we have, and why we are using it, let I will tell you that also. So in the case of combination, how can we combine the number of cells that we have? So first of all, you know that the symbol of cell, that is this. You can understand it by the composition of this. We are taking two electrodes, we are taking any solution, and due to that some ions are accumulated on that, cations and anions we are saying them. So we can just make it in this way, and for that case this is serving just as the positive terminal, this is negative, and they are separated by some distance, and due to that some potential difference is created here. So this is the basic symbol of the cell that we have. Now we have, suppose number of cells we have that have different EMF, that have different internal resistances, and if we are combining them, then what will be their equivalent EMF or equivalent resistance there. This is just like the case as we have discussed in the terms of capacitance and resistances. So this is combination of cell, and we can combine again cells in two ways. First in series way, and second in parallel way. So if you are saying just series combination, then concept is again same. I just told you before, in the case of capacitance and resistances in series combination, we are just joining any two component by end to end. So if suppose we have two cells, and that two cell we are joining by end to end. So end to end joining is that one end is joined, other two ends are free here, that we are seeing. So it means in this case you can see these are two cells. Suppose this first cell has EMF epsilon 1, internal resistance is R1, and this has EMF epsilon 2, internal resistance is R2. These are the points here. This is A point, this is B point, this is C point, and suppose I current is flowing through them. So obviously you know that whenever we are connecting some components in series, then current at it is not facing any junction, so current is always same here. The change there, that is in potential, means terminal potential whenever you are you will calculate here, that will be same, that will be different on both of the cells here. So let's see what will be the combination. Suppose this is our figure A, and if we are just making a cell in place of them, and we just want to understand, means we are replacing these two cell by a value epsilon and R. So we have to find out epsilon and R in the terms of these two. So suppose this is our point A, this is our point C. So this is our figure B that we have here. So let's just discuss this factor here now. So in the case of series, first let's calculate what is the potential difference between these 2 points A and B. So if we will see, we can write it VA minus VB from here, and also this potential difference is equal to the terminal potential obviously. So terminal potential, that is equal to epsilon 1 minus I into R1. So here due to first potential, obviously potential difference that will be created in outer circuit, that is terminal potential, this will be equal to this value. In the same way we can calculate what will be the potential difference or terminal potential between these 2 points B and C due to this cell second. So obviously this will be equal to epsilon 2 minus I into R2 here. Now we can calculate the potential between the point directly A and C. In the same figure I am talking here. So we can write it VA minus VC, and again we can write VA minus VB and plus VB minus VC. We can write it in this way, and let's use VA minus VB and VB minus VC, these two values here. So if you will use it here, so this is equal to VA minus VB, it is equal to epsilon 1 minus I into R1, and this is plus epsilon 2 minus I into R2 we have. So let's just take epsilon as at one place and I at one place. This is R2 and this is equal to VAC. This is our equation number 1. Now let's see this figure B. So in this figure B, potential difference between these 2 points A and C can be calculated, and that will be equal to epsilon minus IR. This is the replacement of these two in one cell only. So I current is also flowing in this, because in series combination you know that current that is flowing in every component is same here. So whether it is its combination that we are just talking, or we have just taken an equivalent cell in place of these two or combination, then that have EMF epsilon and that has internal resistance R. So we can write this one. This is our equation number second. So as these two things are just the same thing that we are talking, means we are using the combination of two cells in series, and that two combination is replaced by one cell here in figure B. Then we can compare these two equation, and after comparing this, epsilon that will be equal to epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2, and this R here minus I you are seeing, and this R is equal to R1 plus R2. So this is showing here the combination of cells. Suppose we have number of cells, n cells that we are connecting in series, and that have the EMFs epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon 3 and up to epsilon n, and that have internal resistance R1, R2, R3 and Rn. So how can we find out their equivalent internal resistance or equivalent EMF? So that will be equal to, in general form, epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2 plus epsilon 3 and so on. This is epsilon n. This is for EMF. This is E equivalent we have, and this is R equivalent. For that, combination is given by R1 plus R2 plus R3 and so on plus Rn. So this resistance formula you are seeing just like the external resistance that we have talked about in case of series combination. So it means that whenever we will connect cells in series, then that time its internal resistance will increase here, and also its EMF will increase there. Clear, I think. So if that is now clear, students, then for today I think we should stop the class here. In next class we will discuss about the parallel combination and mixing of the cells. Means if we are mixing the cells and we are making some batteries, then what will be the external EMF or external potential due to that. So let's see that in next class.